Hi everyone, welcome back to the part 2 of our How to Get Business Analyst role in Investment Banking series. In the first video we talked about how to craft resume, but today I would like to provide you with the tips for the interview processes. As we already know, investment banking interview can be really intense, as they are looking for the people who have financial knowledge, also know how to clearly communicate with both technologies and business teams, and also can handle the pressure. So in today's video, I would like to talk to you about the common questions which are being asked during the interview, and also how you can apply the STAR method in order to answer those. And if you are new here, I'm business analyst, I'm working in investment banking, and I'm also MBA and CQ qualified. Before walking into any interview, you need to understand the core profile investment banking looking in the business analyst. And it's not just about your technical skills, it's about the ability that you're able to bridge the gap between technology and the business world under high pressure environment. So what they are assessing, first you need to have a good understanding of the financial products, and you don't need to be a trader, but you must know products like equities, FX, a fixed income, corporate bonds, etc. You need to know how they are function and also what are the data and the system which are associated with them. The next is translating business needs into technical requirements. One of the most important responsibility of the business analyst in the investment banking is to know how to communicate a complex financial requirements to the technical or development teams. Which means that you need to know how to write detailed specification, user story, business requirements documents or functional requirements documents, which can be understood by both sides from business and development perspectives. The next is ability to perform under the pressure. Many of us know that investment banking is the fast-paced environment, so you will find yourself very often communicating to the stakeholders which are based in the different time zone, working on urgent regulatory project and dealing with the last-minute changes. And the last but not the least is communication to the different type of stakeholders, because on the variety of project you will have to communicate to the trader, to the risk managers, to the quality assurance team, to the development team. So here you need to show that you have a communication style that can adapt to those different type of stakeholders. Now let's move on. What are the most common interview questions? So interviewers often use scenario-based or behavioral question to understand how you think, how you can solve the problem, and of course how you communicate. So some typical question might include, tell me about the time you got the requirements for the financial system. So here you need to highlight the process, how did you engage the stakeholders, what documents did you produce, what challenges did you face. The next example can be, how do you handle conflicts between stakeholders? So here you must show the diplomacy and problem solving. Mention how you facilitated alignment and found the compromise. The following example can be, describe a time you work on a regulatory or compliance project. Here we can talk about specific regulation like MiFID or FRTB and how you help the project stay compliant. And another where you have to explain a complex business concept to a non-technical stakeholders. So here we can use an example where you translated something like trade life cycle or margin call process into a simple language for a legal or business execution. And as I already mentioned in the part 1 video, that you can use the STAR method when you try to structure your answer, which stands for the situation, task, actions and the results. Let's move on to the importance of the domain knowledge. And this is exactly the area where you can stand out. As I already mentioned before, in the investment banking, they don't expect from the business analyst to possess the same kind of knowledge as the trader, but definitely you must know how the financial instruments working. And there is so many free resources available. Even in one of my videos, I already described the processes, how the financial products are functioning. Another area of the investment banking that you should know are the function of the front, middle and back offices. In the front office, we will see the people who are responsible for the revenue generation, like bankers and traders. Middle office, it will be risk compliance and performance analytics. And back office is more about settlements, clearing and operations. And another key of the domain knowledge that you're expected to possess, of course, are regulation like FRTB, Basel III. It's a big bonus for you if you ever work in the project associated with those regulations. And here is one of the most important tips that I was given during my career. It's about the continuous learning and always stay current. Read Financial Times, Bloomberg, Wall Street, or any financial resources, which are trusted of course, which can provide you a good understanding of the existing market trends and also what's going on with the major banks. Let's now look into the technical evaluation of the interview processes. Many business analyst interview will include technical components, in particular if you would expect it to interact with the data and technology development teams. So you might be asked to write SQL query in order to extract some financial data, analyze the data and summarize some errors or anomalies. And the next, you can be also asked to explain KPIs or the financial reports, for example, how P&L function or anything related to risk measures. In the following, let's look to the communication and stakeholder scenarios. You will likely face with the behavioral question focused on the stakeholders, management and communication, as is of course the heart of the business analyst role. So common scenarios might include: how do you handle last-minute scope of the changes? So here we need to talk about the prioritization, managing impact and keeping documentation aligned. Another example can be: how do you ensure the business and tech teams are aligned? So here we need to explain how you run the workshops, maintain traceability of matrices, use tools like Jira and Confluence. The following can be: how do you document and present your findings? So highlight your documentation style, which can be business requirements documents, FSDs, user stories, and presentation methods like dashboards, slide decks, demos. And last but not least, I really recommend you to end with your value proposition in the interview process. And here is the simple framework. For example, I bring a strong blend of the financial domain expertise, technical acumen and stakeholders engagement expertise. I have led multiple end-to-end implementation in the high-pressure environments, collaborated with both business and IT teams, and continuously seek to optimize processes through the data technology. I am confident I can contribute to streamlining operation and enhancing decision-making in your investment banking initiatives. And tips here: make sure that you prepare 2 to 3 different value proposition statements for different audience, to the HR, to the hiring manager, and to the final panel. And that brings us to the end of the part 2 of the interview tips for a business analyst in the investment banking environment. And if you enjoyed this video, you might also like this one. And please don't forget to subscribe if you haven't yet. And thank you very much for watching me, and see you in the next video.